Pennridge. And that's what swung it. And really, when you get a game that's this close, and two teams that are really, starting to develop a rivalry and know that this could really mean something down the line, those mistakes are going to kill you. And we've seen Norristown not make any critical mistakes. A couple of interceptions already, but they've been on long balls down the field. Haven't put them in a bad spot. Pennridge's turnover, on the other hand, right down there where Norristown could take it down by their own goal line. So, mistakes are going to determine it when the game's going to be close.
I'm guessing Audley Stewart's arm is pretty much just going to be used for handing the ball off in this fourth quarter. I don't see Norristown giving Pennridge any chance trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, well, the only thing you're going to do, they'll throw if they need to. They showed that they would last year on third downs, and you want to keep a little bit of keep the defense a little bit on their heels. You don't want them just to beat on Troy Swittenberg all day.
Number 4 breaking to the outside, Ricky Preet, and he'll get himself a first down.
And I don't think Ricky Preet was ever on any of Pennridge's films, because they absolutely sold out to the left side looking for Swittenberg. Ricky Preet had a lot of room to run out here. He probably doesn't see that much room in practice.
Once again, great play calling from Norristown. I am very impressed with what they've done tonight. Nobody would have ever thought that 12 minutes left in the game, Ricky Preet would get into the game and get a first down.
Well, we said that they needed to mix it up some. They need to, keep Pennridge from being able to focus on Troy Swittenberg. You can do it through the air, or you can do it by mixing it up and giving it to a couple different backs. This time it looks like they're going to split Preet out wide, where Pennridge hasn't seen him.
Swittenberg now breaks 2 tackles, got himself another first down. Norristown really trying to put it out of reach now, and they're driving by running the ball. And that Pennridge team just looks worn down.
And I want you to watch every carry that Troy Swittenberg gets for the rest of the night, and the rest of the year for that matter. Watch how many clean hits he takes. I bet you for the rest of the season you can count them on one hand. You don't get a clean shot on him, and that's why he's been so durable for 3 years as a varsity starter. I can only remember one clean shot tonight, and that was when Jason Maurer hit him right between the shoulder pads, and Troy Swittenberg ran him over. So if he does take the clean shot, that's what happens. But otherwise, he's just so shifty.
An interesting fake handoff right there. The ball goes to number 7, Lou Samba, and he'll get about 4 yards. Audley Stewart really trying to get them to bite on that play. That's the other thing that Stewart does. He really makes that fake handoff play work.
And he's always a threat to keep the ball. Now, he hasn't done it a lot, but you can bet that if there's ever a team that decides to totally key on Troy Swittenberg for the rest of this year, Norristown will use Audley Stewart a little bit more in a running capacity.
2nd and 5. They'll go to Swittenberg. Or no, excuse me. Stewart on the keeper. Fooled me.
And there it was. There was a play where they had just gone to Samba. They figured they'd be coming back to Swittenberg, and instead Audley Stewart on the keeper with a good fake handoff to Swittenberg, and Swittenberg sold it well too.
Got me, folks. I thought Troy Swittenberg had one man to beat to get to the end zone. All of a sudden I look back and there's Audley Stewart running for a first down. We often forget about. We see everything Audley Stewart does at quarterback. People forget about that nice 210-yard rushing game he had against Ben Salem last year when Troy Swittenberg was hurt.
And again, last year he was their primary kick returner. A lot of escapability and a good runner from scrimmage.
It's a first down for Norristown. Holding onto the ball, we're under 10 minutes. Flag on the play. Swittenberg will cut up. Get about 4 or 5 yards. I did not see what happened on that far sideline, but there was a flag thrown.
And a strange place to have the flag thrown, considering that the play was going the other way.
Referee's not too descriptive tonight either. Calling the basic call. No flag on the play.
That's what you would expect for it to be all the way over there. Looks like somebody just dropped it. From handling that slippery ball all night, now the flags are slipping out.
He was reaching for the handkerchief and pulled out the wrong one. Decided, whoops, wrong one, throw it on the ground.
The money's in the right pocket if you want the hot dog.
See, we plug everybody. We plug the concession stand. We plug, oh, man, I'm
Come
telling
down,
you.
it's an experience.
2nd and 4. Movement.
And that's going to be, that should be on the Knights. The Knights. I'm seeing the green and white. I'm thinking North Penn. That should be on Pennridge unless there was some motion in the Norristown line that I missed. But it looks like Pennridge jumped across the line of scrimmage that time.
Rams, Knights, same thing. Yep, that's what it's going to be, offsides. Like I said earlier, that defense really falling apart right now for Pennridge, making some mistakes. And can't hold Norristown to anything.
Well, when all you feel like you can do is take chances, you're going to see some mistakes like that.
Hand off to Swittenberg. Cup the middle, break a tackle. Almost broke it completely for a touchdown, but he'll get inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal once again.
And Troy Swittenberg not only will wait for his blocks, but he'll create his own blocks. With Kirk Berry out in front of him, the right tackle. And before Berry could even get downfield and get on his man, Troy Swittenberg back and forth, cut in behind him. That allowed him to get right down to the goal line.
And it's really amazing that Troy Swittenberg just ran the ball for a good, 10 to 15 yards. And the fans just kind of said, oh, another 1st down.
They'll wait till he gets the touchdown to cheer. Yeah, well, and that looks like a routine run, but it's really not. I mean, to get that much yardage per carry, he's averaging 9.3 per carry, and that's just amazing.
Up the middle, Stewart on the keeper. And there are those fans cheering. 6 more points for Norristown, 28-0. Getting out of hand here at Roosevelt Field. Good play call once again from the coaches. Audley Stewart, 5 yards for the touchdown.
And up to now, in this season, Norristown had just sort of been lurking around, lurking in the shadows of the Suburban 1 American Liberty Division. This is busting through the door and saying, hey everybody, we're here, and Norristown is now obviously the class of this division.
How do you think the coaches up in Methacton feel right now?
Well, I mean, it's a new team to prepare for, and they've been looking. The thing is, not only is Norristown a very good team, joining what has traditionally been the weaker half of Suburban 1, but it's a new team to prepare for. They're used to the coaches that they see in the Suburban 1 American, not Norristown, but the other coaches. They're used to what they see. They're used to the teams and the other coaches and the offenses that they run. Now they have a whole different element in the Norristown Eagles that they have to deal with. And obviously the key part of dealing with that element is you're now facing once a year what's going to be a state caliber back. And they're certainly going to see one this year in Troy Swittenberg, and Norristown seems to produce them with some regularity.
8:43 left in the game, 29-0. While we have an opportunity, we want to thank the Norristown Area School District for bringing you tonight's game. Our Director of Communications, Mr. Tony Koya, and our producer and our cameraman tonight, Mr. Sam Galbraith. I'm Greg Fry, joined by Walt Fry here at Roosevelt Field. A nice night and a great night for Norristown. The number 4, the number 5, whatever team you want to call them, they are one of the best teams in the state right now.
Yeah, and a couple different polls. Pennsylvania Football News has them at number 5 right now. Pennsylvania Sports Fever has them at number 4, moving up from number 5. After Central Dauphin lost last week. Oh, excuse me, it was Cumberland losing to Central Dauphin, so that moved Norristown up to number 4.
Spicko with the line drive kick, taken at the 10-yard line. Rhodes tries to get up the middle, and he ran straight into a tackler. Number 77, Kirk Barry, making the play. So 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line for Pennridge. And thinking about a meeting down the road, Pennridge right now has got to be thinking, let's at least put some points on the board.
That's exactly right. Now it's out of reach. 29-0, it's out of reach. And with the possibility that they're going to see Norristown in the playoffs, or that's what they're going to hope to repeat their successes of last year. And knowing that they're going to see Norristown now once a year, and it's going to be basically the same sort of defense and the same sort of strategies, they have to now work for the future. Down 29-0, 8.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. You know, Norristown's putting up a lot of shutouts, and that's obviously a source of pride for them. Pennridge is going to want to put as many points on the board as they can, but right now they have to get the first points.
Briner back to pass. Look down the sidelines. Pass was tipped. Now we're showing the exposed passing game of Pennridge. As we talked about earlier in this game, it's not a team that can throw deep. At this point, that's what they need to do to get anything going. And they just can't, they don't have it to do it.
And the 2 times they have tried to work short in the middle of the field tonight, they've been successful. To wonder why they haven't gone back to it a little bit more and at least try to get their playmakers the ball. They have some guys who look like they can make some plays when they have the ball in their hands, but they haven't done their best to really get those guys the ball.
Briner back to pass once again. He has time. Looks over the middle. About 5 yards short of the receiver right there. And 4th down. Punting unit will come on once again.
The sign of a truly dominating defense is when you see the offense on the other side not have any flow at all and not seem to be building on what they did in their past series. And you can even build on the 3 and out. You know, you can pick up some things. But so far, Pennridge, each series seems to have done something different.
Well, for having a bad snap and everything going wrong right there, a pretty good kick right there by number 9, Scott Davis. We'll get it down to about the 38-yard line of Norristown. Once again, they will have the ball. It always seems to be in their hands, and I think that's one of the ways that you really know that a Norristown team is playing. They always seem to have the ball. They've got that Central Bucks, you know, we're going to put 30 up against anybody kind of feel this year.
Yeah, absolutely, and what they're doing is maximizing their opportunities. Their defense is giving them tremendous field position, and Norristown is taking advantage of almost every opportunity, and has tonight since that start of that second quarter.
First down from the 36. Stewart back to pass. He'll look up top for Edmonds. Not going to get him. Interesting play call right there. But 29-0, nothing really matters at this point, whatever you do on offense. Maybe trying to work things out for Coach Grove.
And there are a couple changes. Troy Schwittenberg is taking a well-deserved rest. Probably won't see him for the rest of the game.
Back in the backfield is Orlando Brown, a 5'6" senior. Stewart on the keeper, but he slipped. He was looking to cut that ball upfield, and with the cold conditions, believe me, I've played on this field. I know what it's like at about 9 o'clock at night. Field starts to get a little wet, and Stewart just lost his footing. Checking the watch there? You don't trust me?
We'll make sure when it airs it's 9 o'clock at night. Technically it's 9:35.
Sorry, I must have thought the moon was in the wrong place. 3rd and 13. Stewart lost 3 on that play. Hand off to Preet. Little misdirection play right there. About 4 guys ran by Audley Stewart. Ricky Preet came in, took that ball, and ramped the field for about 5 yards. 4th down, and now Norristown doing something they haven't done much tonight, punt the ball. Back for Pennridge, number 40, Jason Rhodes. Good snap. Punt is up. Into the hands of Rhodes, and he'll take it and try and do something with it. Gets to the outside. Good pursuit right there. 53, Donovan Palmer. Great tackle to make sure Rhodes didn't get even more yardage. Pennridge offense will step on the field once again.
And Pennridge was coming after that punt. They did send somebody straight up the middle. Trey Hadrick got it away quickly, as you need to do in that case. Distance is not the issue, just get it away. And so that left Rhodes pretty much on his own back there.
And if everybody's coming, you know there's got to be, your coverage man downfield's got to be able to get down there pretty easy. Just like you said, make sure you get rid of the ball and take your chances with trying to bring down the returner. So now from the 43-yard line, Pennridge offense, it's been a long night for them. And it's hard to believe that a team that's averaging 35 a game has nothing on the board tonight. Handoff up the middle. Looks like it was Harris, maybe Koch, and either way, it's about 5 yards up the middle.
And along with those 5 touchdowns a game, Pennridge is averaging 376 yards of offense a game. So those touchdowns aren't necessarily from short yardage where their defense is putting them in those spots. They're moving the ball up and down the field in other games, and so far tonight, Norristown has not allowed it.
Second down, the handoff is to Rhodes. He got to the first down marker and nothing more. Good stick right there by number 3, Jamal Alford. Alford in the backfield for Swittenberg. Swittenberg's night has come to an end, and a great night for him. Kotchin in motion. Briner eludes the tackler. Won't elude him again. Mike Wilson, a great play to pursue him. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Got him for the sack. So Norristown will move to 5-0 on the season. This is 3-0 in the league. This is the only game that, as we said, really we see as the challenge for them on their way to an undefeated season in many people's minds.
In many people's minds, yeah, we don't want to start putting that out. I'm sure that the coaches and the team does not want to hear that. This is a new division for them, and they're still finding their way through it.
Rhodes catches the ball, breaks away, fumbles the ball. Norristown player fell on top of it, can't see who it was. Trey Hadrick comes out there with the ball. Norristown will get the ball, and I know everybody laughed and everybody kind of chuckled, but Mike Wilson put a huge hit on Andy Briner.
And Briner hung in there to toss that shovel past the Rhodes, but it just goes to show you every big play for Pennridge tonight turns out to go the other way. The long punt return, called back because of the clip. I'm sorry, that was a kickoff return that was called back because of a clip. And there, good 20, 25-yard run from Jason Rhodes. And it just as he tried to make that one final dance around a defender, coughed it up.
Stewart with Gordon and Brown in the backfield. Handoff just to Brown. He'll get 3 or 4 yards.
This impressive Norristown offense that we've seen tonight certainly is not going without recognition around the state. In some areas you can find up to 3 Norristown players on second-team offense all-state. Of course, Troy Swittenberg as a running back, and he's behind, among others, Dutson Picciotti of Central Bucks West and Kevin Jones of Cardinal O'Hara. But also on the second team, Ernest Terrell as a wide receiver, and Trey Hadrick. So a lot of respect for Norristown's speed and talent positions around the state.
And when you look at it, you know, those three guys are the guys that stand out. Those are the guys that get a lot of recognition. When you look at the 5 horses up front, some people would say that they're among some of the best in the state.
Well, yeah, but when you measure offensive linemen, especially in this state, and you don't need to look outside of District 1 to see it, the offensive linemen obviously are very big, and that's how a lot of them are judged. Off this same poll that we're giving you, the Norristown second teamers all-state, just to run down the offensive line, you have guys 300, 315, 275, 315, and 275 pounds. Well, Norristown had Doug White last year, who got some recognition certainly in the area and around the state, but they have no one at that size this year, and that's really how people are going to look at it. But you do have to say that Norristown line, they do the job for the team that they have and for the running back that they have. The guy like Troy Swittenberg, now he can run behind any line, but all he needs is a quick, athletic line who can get him a few blocks and then get downfield. We've mentioned tonight how great their downfield blocking is, not only from their wide receivers Edmonds and Terrell, and of course Trey Hadrick too, but that 5-man line stays on their blocks, they get on them quick, they stay on them, and then they pursue them downfield. And for Troy Swittenberg, who uses his blocks so well, it's important sometimes to have that pulling guard. Sometimes you just need to take out that one extra linebacker. And a lot of that speed that they have up front in Jim Davis and Kirk Berry and Donovan Palmer, Chris Durante and Jameel Butler, among others tonight, that's serving Troy Swittenberg and the rest of Norristown very well.
Hadrick's punt takes a Norristown bounce. Pennridge will start from about the 20-yard line. Well, I guess I've been pondering this question all night, and I don't know how you can compare it, but do you see this Norristown team as being better than last year's team?
I've been thinking about that too, and it's a real tough call. I think you have to start with the best player, and a guy like Troy Swittenberg keeps getting better. But I got to say, last year, as impressed as I am with the offensive line tonight, I thought last year's offensive line, a lot of them were second-year players as far as varsity starters. I thought they really came together well. They were a line that could grind it out and just dominate games. You saw teams getting tired against that line. Now, this is the only game I've seen, so I haven't seen enough of this line to say that that's what they can do as well. But they certainly look very capable of doing that, and they don't look tired. The other thing I will say is that there aren't as many, I don't think, two-way players on this year's line as there was on last year's line, and that's going to help keep everybody fresh. So this team seems a little bit deeper. I don't think they've lost a whole lot at the wide receiver. James Edmonds is a year better, and Ernest Terrell is certainly a great receiver and a good replacement for Damian Solomon. So if you look at all the key positions, they may be considered even better than last year's team. The one thing it's tough to do, though, is match them up because they're not playing the caliber of competition they played last year. I mean, I know all night, probably sick of hearing it, but we've mentioned Central Bucks West and North Penn. I'm not sure there's anybody the caliber of Council Rock in the Suburban One American. So just teams like that you run up against week after week after week, that really shows what you're made of. But hey, all you can do is beat the teams you play, and you got to give Norristown credit for beating them soundly.
And that's a good point, Walt, because when you look at it, as Bryron completes a pass to Rose for first down, when you look at it, you look at a team who was last place in that division last year, like Abington. You look at a team like Wissahickon, who's probably going to be last place in this division this year, and you think to yourself, Abington's probably about 21 points better than Wissahickon when you compare them on paper. So when you look at the competition, if you matched up each place team, you'd probably say, yeah, that team's better than this team. But still, it's a very tough thing to shut out any team. And to do it as many times as Norristown has, it's amazing.
The shutouts are very impressive, and you're absolutely right. Against anybody, you can't take anything away from a team that is on the verge of racking up 4 shutouts in 5 games and giving up only a touchdown. Because what that shows is the instinct, the killer instinct, and the ability to finish a game. And at some point, somewhere along the line, Norristown's going to have a close game. You can't go through a season like this. You just can't. It's amazing what they've done up to this point. But at some point, Norristown's going to have a close game, and they're going to need the defense at that point to play like they're playing right now and stop a team from getting any points. And so far, they've come up very big all year, but it's when they're really going to need them late in the game that you're going to see how good this team is.
Brenner back to pass once again. Look up. Ricky Preet almost came down with a one-handed interception right there. That pass is incomplete. We'll go to third down. I like the other point you made about not having two-way players on the line. When he looked at